Just be kicking it, know what I'm saying? I just be kicking it. I just be kicking it, know what I'm saying? Fucking thing hasn't been working right lately. Pissing me off. And these filters are like spinning all the time, no matter what. Hey, Tribbles. I be kicking it, know what I'm saying? Hey, Faye. I just be kicking it. I got some good videos from breeding loons tonight. Plus, they were making calls. You know, that mating call. This same pair of loons have been coming back for 30 years. I've seen them the whole time I've lived here. Beautiful birds. How you doing, Karen? Bay. Tribbles. Hey, Jabo. Yeah, we just be kicking it. I went on March, it looked like it was live. Then I went on there, it said 3 people on there. Then I made some comments like, what the hell is going on? So it looked like it was live, but it was recorded. It said 3 hours ago. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just be kicking it today, you know what I'm saying? I ran into a guy today and I was getting a sub in Jersey Mike. The guy said, "Are you Tom Reed?" I said, "Yeah, I am." He said, "You want a party?" I said, "I do." Yeah, beautiful birds. They'll clean out a lake though, man. The amount of fish they eat is crazy, especially after they have offspring. Hey, Pocahontas, how you doing? Hey, Rainy Days. Yeah, it's a filter. It works, but the filters. I got like 20 choices. They're always spinning now when I click on them. Yeah, it's called the sketch filter. Yeah, I only put it on when I'm wearing my underwear. You like really can't see anything. I wasn't going to do a live, but I thought, oh, what the hell. Anthony wants me to take him to a chicken place tomorrow. It's actually a turkey place. So I'll party with Anthony. Yeah, I knew you guys would be ready for a party. So Tina Turner died, huh? 83, you can't beat that. She married some German composer. He promised not to beat her like Ike did. Yeah, I don't know what makes me think of that shit. Well, thank you. Do you think I could be a poet? Oh, hummingbird. Yeah, good for you, Karen. Yeah, she had okay legs, but I'm not into black women at all. I don't care what they look like. I met 2 when I was in Chicago that were really cute, that really liked me a lot. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I'm not saying they're ugly or anything, but people have choices. I wish I would have been. I tried to do it, but I couldn't. I can't. I canceled my date. Hey, so get this. So I've known this woman for quite a while. I've talked to her on and off, like barely kept in touch. So we agree she's going to come up here for today. And she pissed me off like Tuesday night, just kind of a bitching about everything. So I just thought we kind of got in a little bit of an argument at the end. I just thought, I don't want to do this, man. I mean, she's just a fruitcake. So she's only been up here once. I've always like met her in Detroit or Florida or something like that. So she said she was going to get a hold of me, to make sure she had the right address. And I just typed back. It's like, yeah, don't even come, really. Good luck to you, but it's just too much drama. She shows up anyway. 160-mile one-way drive. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I said, well, I don't want to be rude, but, I told you not to come up here. Wasn't anything great. I just hate drama. Even like, I don't like it on the channel, and I hate it even worse in my own life. Somebody starts, gossiping and bullshit, and I'm out. I don't give a shit what's coming down the road. She's not getting any turtle shell lamp, I'll tell you that. Yeah, it happened today. She came up after she wasn't supposed to. Told her I didn't want to do it. Doesn't get any stranger than that. I got some good video on Loons today. They were doing their mating call too. I just told her, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, I spell it out, you know. I'm kind of like an angry person. So it's really easy for me to tell someone to get the hell out of here. I'll try and be nice for about like the first 20 seconds. Say there must have been a misunderstanding. I apologize. And then if it keeps up, I'll tell them to get the fuck out of here. Nah, I don't really, I don't know what the deal is on that, to tell you the truth. I don't think that really. I mean, I'd tell you if I thought that was happening, but those days are far and few between. I don't know what the problem is. Yeah, 300 miles round trip. Stupid, crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's almost. I'll tell you what I think it is. Really, same reason I'm not going to Detroit. I'm on a good run here today. Lately, this last year has been pretty good, and that could always take a fucking kamikaze. So I don't want to go to Detroit. I'm afraid I'm going to shoot somebody if I'm down there. I'm not going to just sit there while someone's, going to fuck with me. So I don't go down there. And it's different, and there's really not that much temptation, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's the same shit with these fucking dingbats. I think she's lying about having a boyfriend, but it's not worth, like, even thinking that. She's like 51. If you're 20 and you're stupid, you think that they want to see you because their boyfriend isn't doing what he should be doing. But when you get older, you realize, nut job. Like I said, I had one girlfriend since 1998. I couldn't wait to get rid of her. I just am not into it, I guess. Just party. I just like fucking around like this, get on YouTube, talk, have a lunch, go visit Mary, see people a couple times a year and get the hell out of there. But, things are going pretty well, and it's just not, it's, the old risk reward. Yeah, that's how it is rainy days. Isn't that the truth? It's not that worth it. And plus, I'm sure if you injected me with 25 cc's of testosterone, I wouldn't be on this live right now. We'd be screwing. So I think hormones are a part of it too. I really do. You verbalize it by saying, well, I'm busy. I don't want drama. But the truth of the matter is that old damn cattle stimulator isn't working much. You're attracted to people as you get older. At least I am, by intellect and bank balances in their account and that kind of shit, how good they cook. And she can't do any of that shit. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I really do. I think it's as simple as that. I do. I think it makes what used to be difficult decisions really easy. Believe me, I'm not upset about it one bit. Then I get a fucking text about 3 hours ago after this, what I just told you. And she said, "Are you all right?" I don't answer those. Back into the drama again. Yep, don't need to overanalyze. Nope. Yep, it's true. Hey, Chelsea. We're partying. We're just partying here. Going to be good weather for the next few days. Tab wants me to go to his mother's memorial in Escanaba, but I got a couple of people that want to look at this condo and some other stuff I'm selling. I may run up there. I don't know why he wants me to come to that damn thing, but I'm thinking about it Friday. I'm taking Anthony down to this turkey restaurant tomorrow. That's his son, but he doesn't like to leave town anymore. And if you make plans with Anthony and you cancel them, he like gets super depressed. So half the reason I don't want to go with his dad on a 4 hour one way trip is because of him. Yeah, that's the thing. That's about it, Karen. Yeah, crazy. A lot of people don't take hints. I was talking to somebody about that the other day, where it happens in chat sometimes. You just can't believe that people are so clueless on how they're perceived. Hey, Chelsea, you're getting on my nerves. Chelsea, you're getting on my nerves. Chelsea, I think it's time for you to like maybe check out another channel, babe. You know what I mean? Hey, Faye, push on that channels. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Brian. How you doing? Yeah, I bet you didn't miss him for long, though. No, that's not. First, you said, what were we, you asked what we were doing, and then you wanted to know who I was talking about. She's doing good. Marty sent me a little video. He went and bought this, he's going to Hilton Head and taking Daisy with him. Well, he had that beehive, and he's like a super conscientious pet owner or whatever. Birds, butterflies, whatever they need. So somewhere he finds this 3-gallon honeybee feeder, which is essentially something that you set up and you mix 1-to-1 sugar with water, and you put all sorts of little stones in the bottom. Or this thing is designed to be a honeybee feeder, and what it is it's 1-to-1 mix with sugar. They're working their ass off this time of the year. That's a brand new hive, and trying to get things done. If you set up the water wrong, it's sticky because it's a 50-50 mix, and they'll drown themselves. The water will be too deep. They'll get in there. They drown, all sorts of shit. But the one he bought has things that keep that from happening. I don't know whether it's like a little subfloor and the water isn't that deep or whatever, but it holds 3 gallons of water. It's a big giant thing. And he said there were just bees all over the front porch. They were on the rails, on the chairs. He'd never seen that many bees in his life. And it's because that much food was present. He sent me a video of it. Looked pretty cool. But he's going to move it over to the trees because he thinks that'll just freak people out if they come over to visit. I've never used one that big. I do use a quart mason jar, which, rests on the side of the hive. And they've been going through about a quart a day, which is a lot. But now he's giving them like 3 gallons and all they want, whenever they want. And it's like they're sending this pheromone signal and everybody is exiting the hive come out and eat. I think there's a new brood hatching. If I had to guess, 10,000 bees and a mated queen came in the package, but by now it's about 5 weeks old. I would guess there's probably 25,000 bees flying around. Oh yeah, I'm taking Anthony to a turkey place tomorrow for lunch. He wants to go to lunch down there. Yeah, he's a good guy, Anthony. It's funny. It sucks, man. Anthony has no friends his age. What happens is if there's a cute girl that is not, I know girls around here that know him and they've blocked him and stuff, but he's just he's an autistic kid that, probably has the same normal young male hormones, but no way of navigating intimacy. You know what I mean? Or even general friendship. It's really kind of sad. And now he doesn't want to go anywhere with his parents. He wants to stay home. And they're going up to Ted's mother died. They're having a memorial for her in the UP. So Anthony's going to be home by himself through Sunday. And he calls me a lot. And, I've been gone for a while. And he called me yesterday and he said, will you take me to that turkey place? It's that turkey roost down in Caucalan. It's like, sure, when do you want to go? He said, I want to go Thursday. It's like, okay. So he called me again today and he said, hey, you're taking me to that turkey roost tomorrow, aren't you? It's like, yeah. I said, what time do you want to go? He said, 12. It's like, okay. He said, do you take me out to lunch Friday too? It's like, sure. Where do you want to go? He says the hen house, which is the other way, about 20 miles. I don't really mind, man. I know what the score is. I mean, it's the least I can do. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a good deed or it's going to get me anywhere. But I know what the deal is. I'll give you an example. I'm not bragging about this, but Marty's the same way too. Yeah, he's a sweet kid. So I'm in Walmart tonight. I go in and get a 4-pack of Dragon's Milk, some smoked salmon, some bulled smoked nuts in a can. Oh, and some lemonade. I get hungry like later, fucking around in these chats and shit, and there's nothing to eat because I haven't lived here in a year. So I'm in line. There's a lady had a baby, cute little like 3-week-old baby. She's holding it, and there's only one line open. And she says to me, "Oh, go ahead, go ahead." She said, "Go ahead of me." And I said, "Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you." So I went ahead of her, and there's a heavy set lady in one of those motorized carts, and I think she had a bridge card, which is like welfare, which I don't care. And she also had a prepaid gift card. So we're standing there, and I'm holding my 4 things in my hands, and the girl with the baby said, "Go ahead, let me move this back." I said, "No, it's okay. It's not really that heavy. I can wait." And the heavy set lady uh, runs her card through her prepaid card, declines it as a credit, declines it as a debit, and she wanted to put $50 on that and then use her welfare card, the bridge card. That's what they call them here. Nice lady. And you can tell that she's concerned that she's holding us up. And she realizes that the lady that had the baby had let me ahead of her, and now everybody's waiting. So they fuck around with it for a while. I said, if you run that as credit and you swipe it instead of put it into the scanner, maybe it'll work. Didn't work. And the clerk was very good with her. So I'm thinking to myself, she just doesn't have enough money on the bridge card if she can't take $50 off this prepaid Visa. Now, who knows where she got that? I don't care. So about another 5 minutes goes by. We're there forever. And I said, hey, look, can I just give you $50? Let's just swipe my card. She said, no, you don't need to do that. She said, I have money. I can do it. I was just trying to do it this way. And I said, no, I don't mind at all. It's like, why don't you just let me switch, you know, swipe my card. And she said, no. She said, as a matter of fact, I have $50 cash. And sure enough, she goes to her purse and she gets $50 cash. And she gives it to the lady. Then she swipes her bridge card, the welfare card, and it takes care of the rest of the balance. And she said, I want to apologize to you guys for taking so long. It's like, hey, no problem, man. I'm thinking the whole time, this poor lady, she's got some kind of disability. She's overweight. She's in a motorized cart. So they load up all her shit. And I thank the pregnant or the lady that had the baby for letting me go ahead of her. And, she's got like a ton of bags. It was only $136 total. But I said to her, I said, hey, do you need help getting that into your car when you get outside? And she said, no. She said, and I really want to thank you a lot for asking. That was very kind of you. She said, I can't walk, but I could load my car, in the minute and a half it takes to put it in the trunk in the rear seat. But thanks a lot. But I think to myself, when I see scenarios like that, I just, I don't think this lady's got a lot of support. And I kind of just felt bad for her. And I also saw the kind of stuff she bought, which I'm not saying it's definitive of what type person you are, but it kind of gives you a clue of people. I mean, you know what I mean? If you crunched $100,000 worth of groceries and the type of people that bought them, I think it would be pretty accurate the next month as well. Yeah, it's a rough life. Yeah, really. You just, if you'd have been there, I'm sure you'd have thought the same thing. It's like, this lady has a rough life, man. She does. I've run into so many people up here that I've known. No, $136. You're exactly right, Melissa. I thought the same thing. I'm glad to do it for them. I usually tell them, like, I've gotten a couple, I've had a few good strokes of luck. And, I'm cashing out on a marriage, which is going to be a pretty good payday. And even though I'm taking much less than I could get if I pushed it, I got plenty of money for like my lifestyle. I'd be used cars, used clothes last forever. I wear my shoes out. I don't collect anything anymore, so I don't have any expensive hobbies. So I'm fine. I'm glad I could do it. Now the flip side of that is it's really killed my motivation on doing things. Like these bookcases you see, this is about like $8,000 worth of bookcases. Big deal, right? And I'm willing to discount them if people buy them all at once. Why? Because I don't want to fuck around. I don't want to be, negotiating with people. And that's why I tell people that I know, if you see something I have that's nice and you like it, I'll get it to you. Why? I don't want to be fiddly fucking around. I'm in a decent position and I don't want to be like fucking around yard sales and, like spending 10 days when I could be out making YouTube videos, having fun, making $300 from selling this junk. No, big time, Alyssa. You got it. Bingo. That's 100% truth. Sometimes I'm like in a cranky mood and I don't want to hear this bullshit on how appreciative they are. And they say, and I know this sounds rude, and they say, well, how can I thank you? I said, you really want to know? It's like, oh, absolutely. It's like, don't talk anymore about this. I said, had a couple lucky strokes. I don't want to do yard sales. This is no big deal. Glad to do it for you, but don't nominate me for sainthood. I am lucky. I agree. You're right. I am lucky. That's exactly what I attribute it to. Musical chairs of the real world. Well, I don't collect anything anymore. I'll take my books, but my books are subjects of interest. Stuff that interests me. They're not collectible books. They're not valuable books. I could replace any of them at any minute on a order through the internet. I don't want anything of value, including a car. This fucking house is costing $450, which is nonsense. It's only 2,700 square feet, which is kind of pissing me off. But it's like, I'm not even like getting Korean countertops or any of that shit. You know? Pissing me off. No, I've never watched it. We Beast are pretty good. Hang on a second. I'm going to go get a glass of water. No, I've gotten fucking lucky, that's for sure. So, I think I got like probably about, I've come close a couple times to offing myself. And I mean, in a way, I think this is all kind of like extra time I didn't really anticipate. No, it's ridiculous. No, I agree with you. It's nuts. So my plan is to just take these next 10 or 15 years and just fuck off. Yeah, I don't collect anything. I don't want to collect it. It's a mental illness. At least it wasn't my case. I mean, you wouldn't believe the bullshit I go through. I go to auctions and fucking eBay, and it was the last thing I did before I went to bed, and the first thing I did when I got up in the morning, and buying estates and this and that. Fuck me. Oh wow, good for him. He'll probably yeah, good for him. No, but I mean, I would agree that it's not normal to want to end your life soon. But on the other hand, in a practical, logical sense, it makes sense. I mean, first of all, when I see people at a younger age get killed, I think to myself, they're going to skip a lot of bullshit. At least in the last 5 years, they've skipped COVID, a runaway economy, ridiculous inflation, $4 a gallon gas, COVID, ridiculous food prices. When I was young, people would talk about wanting to live longer. Everybody I talk to now says they're glad they're just not starting out and they don't want to live in their 80s and 90s. So, in a lot of ways, I'm grateful that I don't have like decades to live, probably. Well, that's cool, that guy. I'll check that out. Thank you. I mean, I understand why people get tired of it. After a while, you're not really into relationships. You had every toy you wanted. You traveled, you fucked off. I mean, I've taken like 10 years off at a time and just traveled and fucked around. And I like ran out of stuff to do. And it's just like, do I want to just get old like this? Yeah, it's unfortunate for the kids. Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, I do. I mean, it's just like anything. I'll tell you who was a good guy. I met him a couple times in Chicago, and I was friends with the girl that babysat his daughter, Katie, Jerry Springer. And a couple times I had listened to him in interviews where Jerry Springer was a really good guy. I mean, unrelated to his show, that was just an act and a shtick, but outside of there, he was a good guy. And he would talk about how he realized at a young age how, depending on who you were born to and your genetics and your luck in life had all to do with your success. I mean, he was a mayor of Cincinnati and got caught writing checks for blowjobs and bounced back pretty damn good. I have been on a cruise. Yeah, I've been on about 5 of them. The only one I would recommend is, depending on your personality, I liked Alaska because there's just no way you're gonna see that Glacier Bay, and it's more of a educated crowd. It's not a party ship. But those Caribbean and those Virgin Island things, you couldn't give me one of those unless it had something to do with like lectures and, I could go to those. And I'm thinking about taking one over the holiday. I'm thinking about maybe taking one over the holiday, go for a week. I'd like to just sit on deck and, drink a beer and like read and write. And I also want to, I think next month I'm going to hit the road and do like a big Native American tour again, only this time of the Southwest. Yeah, and next winter I want to spend a month in the really blizzard cold, whether it's Montana, North Dakota, or the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Hey, Bess, how you doing? Nothing. Even her daughter doesn't know where she lives, although that doesn't mean too much. I mean, what they said a couple years ago was that, they had changed that area where she lived because they were building that new international bridge. And supposedly she had moved in with a guy that was closer towards downtown, which wouldn't have been very far, because you're almost downtown where she was at when I met her. And I don't know of anybody that's seen her. So no, I don't know. And her daughter hasn't kept in touch with her either, but that's always been kind of a hot or cold relationship anyway. Yeah, no, I don't know what I just don't know. Her last name's Atkins, Atkins. But she really hasn't had gainful employment or didn't own any assets in years, so it doesn't really do you too much good to run a profile on her. It isn't like she's, getting Boy's Life delivered to her new address. No, I got threatened down there a lot in Detroit, and it just got to be too dangerous. And it wasn't just the threat of that by these kooks that, think I'm killing these girls. It was the cops down there were just as bad. They don't show up if you've got a decent reason to call them. They harass you while you're there. They lie. They plant drugs on prostitutes. So it just got to where it wasn't worth it anymore. And a big part of that too is the area changed. I mean, it isn't quite like it was when that was kind of a golden period for Detroit was really, about game over, and I wasn't doing too hot myself for a while. So, it's like a lot of things in life, right? You don't well, I shouldn't say, I didn't realize it, because I did. I knew when I was down there during that time, like, for about a 5-year period, that this is a big deal. This is take advantage of this, and I did. I really did, and it's not like that anymore. Yeah, I think I did, like, bare minimums, I was just genuinely interested. I didn't know what I was doing, but thank you. Yeah, Marguerite was nice if you didn't as long as she wasn't your mother. All those kids were taken away by the state and given to foster care. And she's got a daughter now that I used to talk to that lives out in Battle Creek that'll bash her head in with a baseball bat if she ever gets an opportunity for the way she ruined her life as a child. Yeah, well, YouTube's behind that. YouTube isn't like all that, you know what I mean? I appreciate them providing a platform where I got to meet a lot of people, but they'd sell their mother's pussy for a dime. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly what happened. Well, there were periods where they were cracking down on it. The COVID's what got the whole damn thing moving. Now, in Marguerite's area, it was that new bridge. I got an idea that even the dumbest politician probably upped the police presence because you're trying to attract Amazon there. And for a while, I-75 was shut down because they were replacing the Rouge Bridge. So people were going up and down 4th Street. Before you know it, everybody that's going back and forth to work sends a bunch of working girls soliciting cars at red lights. And it just didn't bode too well for a city that already had a reputation problem. That Boblo building's been down a long time. That Boblo building was taken down about 4 years ago. Oh, wow. Good for you. You talking about the one right down there at the park at the foot of Grand Boulevard? Yeah, she did have a baby. That was quite a while ago. I don't think she's doing good. She's given up 3 or 4 or 5 babies, and it's somebody in active addiction. I mean, I hope I'm not right, but I think that she's hopeless. Oh, the area behind the bridge. Mama Kelly, she got an apartment and has a job and is living up along the Detroit Roseville border. She's got her own channel, Kelly Magzala, Mazala. Oh, do they, Jessup, Georgia? No kidding. Yeah, yeah. I mean, who knows what she's up to? Kelly is a complete and total dirtbag, unrelated to drugs. Ebony's back out there. Yes, total scumbag. Just a manipulative uh, con artist. I do. I hear from time to time. Becky will call. I think I pretty much cut them all off, though. If I recognize her number, I don't answer it. Renee Windy. Do you remember her? She died, actually, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, and all these people down there, like that fucking fruitcake, secular human, or whatever he calls his name. He doesn't even know she died, and he claims to be intimate and tight with these people. And I'll tell you why he doesn't know she died, because the fucking mother couldn't stand that weird motherfucker. If she had an overdose, they'd have probably suspected him of killing her. Raven was a nice girl, she really was. Didn't stand a chance from day one. Fucking raped by a stepdad, fucked by her fucking live-in brothers at foster homes. That's a sad story. She overdosed. Renee was a fucking scumbag too. You remember the old interviews that I did with Tony, who was Becky's friend? Tony was a really good guy. And sure enough, 3 weeks. Now, I'm not blaming her for this, but where there's smoke, there's fire. And after she was living there with that other fucking con artist, Tracy, Tony came up dead from a heroin overdose. Tony didn't do heroin. So I don't know whether there was some pussy at stake and he agreed to do it. It was some fucking weird shit. Tony was a good guy. And as soon as those two dirtbags moved in with him, they found him dead in bed. Oh, well, so you survived it, Karen. Congratulations. Yeah, I mean, I knew this before I did those kind of things. This sexual abuse stuff really fucks people up, some more than others. I mean, there's people that go on to get their PhD and marry and put it behind them, and there's ones that it just absolutely sabotages their life and ruins it. Which one, Don? Which one? There's probably 15 of them that are dead. What'd she look like? Yeah, Cricket was actually Hispanic. The last I knew, Cricket was living with a 55-year-old truck driver in a rural town about 60 miles away southwest of Detroit. And that's about it. Now, I had talked to people later that had saw her down there high, but it wasn't like, solid information. I don't know. Yeah, Cricket's probably 28 now. That fucking YouTube, fucked with me on Cricket too. Like I was uploading videos of underage girls. Cricket dressed underage because it helped her business. But she was like 23 or 4 when I first started talking to her. Yeah, Maddie is not doing too good. No, I don't know if it's true or not, but people are telling me she's lost her vision. It's so sad with Maddie. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. She was Hispanic, yeah. I was with Cricket one time giving her some fucking chicken noodle soup or something, and happened to be privy to about a 20-minute conversation between her and her mother. And the mother was just a fucking lunatic too. I mean, there's some success stories. There's some girls that got out of there. I didn't have anything to do with it. I might have sent them a couple bucks after they got out, but uh, I was just like a fucking child down there. I didn't know much, and it ate my ass alive, but I learned a lot. I was naive. And honestly, I wouldn't done it any other way. I mean, I've done a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, that's what drugs does to you, man. I'm telling you, I didn't know much about it. I knew that, well, pink eye is not going to make you go blind. Pink eye is very contagious. It will do retina damage. I had an older sister that was on a cruise in Greece and got pink eye. And as soon as she went to the doctor that's on the ship, they made her get off. And she said, well, how am I going to get home? It's like, that's your problem. She thinks she caught it from a slot machine handle. Yeah, I had a good time doing those. I hope to get back in it. YouTube doesn't want those anymore. I mean, what happened is I was just a lucky guy at a unique time in Detroit when YouTube was promoting people like me. They don't do that anymore. They don't want guys like me around. It's very clear about it. So, like anything, whether it's an economy or a time to buy real estate, shit luck. It wasn't any great videos. It was just I never quite met people like that again, with Penny and Tassie and Becky, and it all kind of came together, and people liked him, and YouTube promoted him. Well, those days are over. That ship has sailed. Oh, congratulations, Chelsea. Hell no, it's not easy. And I can see why people are tempted to go back. And in fairness to Becky, not everybody wants to be the soccer mom. Why is this fucking phone? Oh, it came unplugged. It said 15%. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah, there. That'll be good now. I mean, like a guy, if you're a person that's considered suicide, well, the last person you want to talk to is the person that's never considered it, because it's going to piss you off on the reasons that they're going to try to explain to you on the virtues of living. You don't want to hear it. And in fairness to Becky, I mean, and I realize this through being down there, as you get working girls, you're out sucking dicks for fucking, uh, $10, and you got HIV, or you got hepatitis C, and you've just given up. You are so far in the hole, and it takes so much to get out of that it's almost, I mean, I understand the logic in it not being worth it to some people. So you decide to get clean on drugs. You get your hepatitis C cleared up. You get on one of these protease inhibitors, and your HIV is down to 0. You meet the love of your life. You have 2 kids. You're in a suburb, and you're bored like a motherfucker. Nothing replaces that high you have when you're a drug addict, and you got responsibilities. You got to keep the house up. You got to cook food. You got to take care of these kids. And I'm not saying it's the way to go. I'm just saying I understand why some people don't want that. Yeah, Melissa, soft white underbelly has money from another source. He's not doing that great. They don't pay him like they used to, but he doesn't care because he doesn't need the money. Yeah, the tent thing's just another it's just another con job. I mean, you'll notice with a lot of the women that I got to know that I interviewed, what will eventually happen is you're going to paint them into a corner. In order for the money to continue, they're going to eventually have to tell the people that are watching their videos that they're going to go to rehab, because everybody's about ready to cut them off. They're tired of this bullshit. They've known him a year and nothing's better. So you got to fake the rehab thing. I mean, Sharon's an expert at it. Yeah, no, it's a lot of luck, man. I mean, I can remember when HIV was still coming around, and you were reading these stories like in national publications where people were like getting HIV the first time they had intercourse and stuff like that. You know? Yeah, I'm glad you didn't. And and not only that, I mean, there's people that catch all sorts of things that are not working people or sex for hire. I mean, it's out there. I mean, a bunch of stuff. I know 2 women that got hepatitis C that, just slept around a lot, and, thankfully something came out where you could finally get rid of it. And it wasn't the death sentence that it used to be. HIV too. I mean, there's all sorts of YouTube channels where you can, get that down to where it's a non-detectable virus and actually have unprotected sex. I don't think I'd be too interested in that, but they're doing it. So, I think this chat's acting weird again. Like if I don't get a comment in another few seconds, I'll probably start it over again. I think this is YouTube and their dirty tricks, to tell you the truth. They're like that. Because Karen left the last comment, and then it goes off how many people are on the chat, and then that's usually the beginning of the end. And I have a good signal here, so you can't blame it on that. So if you guys hear me, you guys can probably see your comments, but I can't see any new ones. Yeah, he has a ton of money from other sources. Yeah, that soft white underbelly. I mean, I thought those were okay videos, and then he started doing them in these Appalachian guys, families, and just making them look really bad. It wasn't, you know, this is a lifestyle of someone that lives in Appalachia. It was like, let me just make these people look as retarded and inbred as possible. And I kind of got turned off on him. He said some negative shit about me too to somebody. I don't remember who. So I mean, it was. I don't care what that guy does. Yeah, I think this thing's stuck, man. Let me start this over. I'll start it over right now.